Welcome to an enlightening journey. This educational content offers challenging insights. Approach with an open mind. The link for the study guide can be found in the description. Subscribe to join the exploration. Let's dive in without wasting time. Speak with impact, unleashing the power of language. Introduction. The Speak with Impact series reflects over 2 decades of interaction with the top influencers, creators, and thought leaders in a variety of different strategic and persuasive communication landscapes. What you will pick up over the next 300 pages, including chapter and module executions, and an overview of the decision techniques presented below, and summaries and references of the back, is an attempt to distill the best of the underlying insights and preparation and delivery strategies that the greatest strategic communicators apply for themselves, or to achieve the greatest and longest-lasting persuasive communication successes. Welcome to Speak with Impact, our comprehensive guide to the principles and practices of persuasive communication. Each of us possesses the ability to move, intimidate, and motivate others. We are all fundamentally effective communicators, but the exercise of influencing thought and changing minds requires every bit as much diligence, discipline, and artistry as any other mode of expression. Great speech does not flow from great orators granted license to freedom of thought and action reflecting the consequences of neither care nor efficacy. It all has to come carefully examined, audited, and massaged, and that may never end. There are no virtuoso speakers practicing the black art of lasting human influence, only exceptional and disciplined communicators following uncommon, thoughtful rules of both preparation and delivery. Chapter 1. The Importance of Effective Communication. The relevance of getting your point across effectively in the age of broadcast media, as well as an era with more telepresence than in recent collective memory, cannot be overstated. It is a minefield trying to cover the core human requirement of speaking ability and confidence without either engendering complacency or killing the poetry and the richness of expression that we infuse in our daily communications. Hence, it would be the desired outcome of this work to impart the necessary technical capabilities, share knowledge and experience, and also open doors for personal exploration for as many people as possible. Successfully developing speaking ability, provided one is inclined to do so, is not overly complicated. It is reasonable to set fairly broad goals so long as the minimum guidelines are drawn carefully. Throughout our lives, we collect common sense principles and episodic treasures from which we derive rules of thumb. The pragmatic, learn-as-you-go strategies we employ direct our actions on a daily basis. This, combined with the great wealth of theories that has been built up over the last century and longer, acts as both a blessing and a curse for the experienced lecturer and teacher of communications, in this case language and speaking ability. Once you know much about a subject, it gets increasingly difficult to see it with the same relative rawness that a beginner or neophyte will have. Many experts in a given field are entirely unaware of the fact that it is not only fact that has a significant impact on society, but also the excitement that that discovery brings when communicated well to the masses. The profound implications of effective communication resonate far beyond the realms of mere facts and figures. While language, and specifically the manner in which we employ words, lies at the heart of what so brilliantly separates us from our fellow co-workers of planet Earth, it can impact how persuasive we are at securing what we want, how influential we are in persuading others to see our viewpoints, and even to what extent people remember us. The power of language extends beyond mere functionality and becomes an intricate web that weaves its way through all aspects of human interaction. It can determine who holds power within a group or who is ostracized, who is considered to be an expert or a genius, and who is clueless from the get-go. The words we choose and how we use them possess the ability to shape our reality and mold the perception of others. Is language simply a vessel for wisdom, a tool to convey our thoughts and ideas? Or is it something more potent and profound, with the ability to guide our actions, shape our destinies, and define our individual and collective identities? It is a question that has perplexed philosophers, linguists, and scientists alike. Perhaps language is not only a means of communication, but a reflection of our very existence. It is through language that we construct narratives, build connections, and construct our understanding of the world. It is in the nuances of linguistics that our deepest desires, fears, and aspirations take shape, transcending the limitations of mere words. Words are everywhere. We read them, hear them, and use them every day. But unlike other species, our world is also one where we attach meaning to sound. There is no whistle for the hungry, nor a synonym for blue that the sky recognizes. There is no four-legged animal whose fur looks less like it if you call it a rock, nor an eight-legged one that will respond to good morning. Humans alone bestow these arbitrary relationships between the signifier and the signified. We wake each day interpreting not just the world, but the things that make up our world, according to the words we attach to them. The power of language lies not only in its ability to convey meaning, but in its ability to shape our perception of reality. In the words of Slovenian philosopher Slavoj Žižek, who popularly quoted the basic tenet of Western philosophical thought, what always holds for Spinoza is the proposition that we do not know what a body can do. These words serve as a reminder of the infinite possibilities that language presents and the importance of harnessing its power to navigate the complexities of existence. Chapter 2. Understanding the Power of Words. We pronounce anything in our vast and expansive vocabulary as we artfully articulate the limitless range of subjects that can be introduced in innumerable situations or according to countless requirements, needs, desires, fears, circumstances. The complexity is even greater if we add intonation, emphasis, prosody, speed, pitch, and pause to the broad spectrum of sound manifestations that language generously offers. We can also express ourselves using a profound repertoire of nonverbal symbols, grand gestures, penetrating looks, subtle innuendos, graceful body movements, commanding posture, among other captivating forms of communication. Understanding the importance, the conditions of employment, and the practical consequences associated with the skilled use of all these multifaceted tools is a most intricate and demanding endeavor. Possessing extensive knowledge in linguistics and other disciplines encompassing human development is an invaluable asset in the noble pursuit of refining our thoughts and achieving eloquence that can truly be effective and leave a lasting impact on others. Do we truly grasp the profound nature of the language we employ in our professional and personal lives? It is a complex web of spoken and written symbols, cleverly generated by the intricate workings of a sophisticated human organ capable of wielding venomous words to belittle a competitor or articulating profound ideas that inspire hope, justice, compassion, morality, ethics, liberty, love, and so much more. With our language, we possess the power to launch a political campaign, pen a heartfelt letter expressing our deepest love for that special someone, humbly beseech the divine for favors, demand justice, impose sanctions, deliver a grave ultimatum, gracefully endure an insult, make promises, sound the alarm when danger lurks close by, pronounce a sentence of death, issue instructions, prepare an exquisitely unique dinner, express regret, seek mercy, manifest anxiety, happiness, or tranquility, provide sports commentary while being broadcasted on live television, address politicians and media representatives, exclaim with passion, reproach with conviction, and provide sage advice. The list goes on and on. Conducting applicable research in any given context ignites a spark of aspiration, fueled by the promise of potential fulfillment. When this occurs within a social environment, conflicts and doubts that plague individuals can be effectively resolved. In a work context, the hunger for achievement transforms into a powerful entity that harnesses and directs the vast reservoirs of human talent that organizations strive to attract, develop, and retain. It is this very reason that propels organizations to become more productive and effective. In fact, This principle has been recognized and embraced by countless successful companies, eager to establish their brands and business models in such a way that no rival can even dream of competing. The convergence of impassioned speeches with a shared goal provides the company or established group with an unprecedented power that enables them to fulfill requests and aspirations that, until then, seemed unattainable. The degree of effectiveness demonstrated by individuals and institutions on a daily basis is a direct consequence of the quality of their language. It is for this reason that wise leaders invest their time and efforts in mastering their words and perfecting their enunciation. They fully comprehend the true power held within their language to garner the support needed to accomplish their objectives. The better their chosen form of language, the easier it becomes for others to comprehend and evaluate the needs they express or the contributions they seek to make. This is precisely why those who possess the ability to eloquently speak within our daily work and personal environments inspire us with their words. Every word pronounced by these individuals carries a profound wisdom birthed from their experiences, coupled with a passionate fervor and relentless hope that permeate the content they seek to convey. In today's world, we are in dire need of such eloquent orators, as they serve as positive leaders who contribute to finding solutions within common scenarios that we all face. The reasons why certain individuals fail to achieve prominent positions in their respective fields can vary greatly. However, one of the recurring causes we have observed is the prevalent use of negative language. When individuals engage in professions governed by the principles of negative language, they inevitably find it exceedingly difficult, if not impossible, to generate productive and constructive outcomes due to the inherent limitations of this form of speech. Individuals who fall into this category, often labeled as non-producers, struggle due to their lack of courage and willingness to step beyond the confines of negativity. It is from this struggle that their rarity emerges. Thus, teaching individuals about the perils of negative language becomes an eternal truth, one that is often overlooked by those who yearn to ascend to prominent positions within their respective fields. It is intriguing to note that throughout history, the noble voices who tirelessly advocated against the use of negative language were individuals of great heart and benevolence. They were the builders, the reformers, the sages, the traders, the soldiers, the travelers, the governors, and the founders of religions. These extraordinary people understood the profound impact that language holds over our lives. By now, the concept of negative language should not be unfamiliar to you, yet there may still be aspects of it that have eluded your knowledge. Thus, let us further dissect and analyze this phenomenon. Despite the fact that everyone engages in negative language to some extent, only a select few truly comprehend its dangers and the immense power it possesses to elect or depose political leaders. Negative language is a unique and pernicious type of discourse that revolves around impracticable, theoretical, strictly negative, and ultimately sterile ideas. To effectively recognize an individual who habitually wields negative language, we must take heed of certain characteristic traits. For example, the negative thinker harbors no expectations of great deeds. They allow negativity to cloud their thoughts before taking action. They struggle to initiate new endeavors and instead cast doubt on everything before even attempting it. Mental laziness prevents them from confidently proclaiming their faith in their own ideas. The negative thinker unwittingly performs the exact opposite work that they should be undertaking. In the book Business Secrets, the reasons behind the absence of historical annotations on the lives of ordinary people become readily apparent. These ordinary individuals, constrained by ordinary experiences, become the measure by which their own lives and the lives of others are assessed. As a result, it should come as no surprise that individuals who embrace the ordinary promotion of negative language cannot be expected to achieve notable feats, and certainly their names will not be etched into the annals of history by future historians. When embarking upon our own journeys, meticulously planning our every move in the pursuit of emerging as leaders or victors within our chosen domains, we must resolutely abide by the timeless teaching that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting different results. Regarding the electoral potential of negative language, General George S. Patton provides poignant guidance. When you go into battle, as the ancient Romans did, you should have the auspices and sacred bull. Chapter 3. Crafting compelling messages. If the question cannot be honestly answered with honesty and brevity, say, "Let me get back to you on that question," and we'll post it to the website. Don't pretend to know it all. If you knew it all, we wouldn't have to be there. In the seminal 1989 essay, In Praise of Brevity, exactly 100 years after Mark Twain wrote his friends, "Sorry I wrote you such a long letter. I didn't have time to write you a short one," Robert Girth wrote, "I have learned that it is far easier to talk at such length after a few days of preparation than to make a statement of 1 minute's length with no preparation. So if you do have that advantage, you will have spent countless hours on the material presented during the talk. Can it be covered in 950 words? If it can, you are in good shape. If it can, cut it. And now I will. Thank you for inviting me, and I wish to pass my time left back to the chair. So, continue to prepare and present when you speak. It is worth the effort, as it will pay off. And at times, you can only deliver an off-the-cuff comment. When you do, follow these guiding principles: honesty and brevity. When you are asked a tough question, what do you have to say about your prospects for re-election? What does the intelligence community know about ISIS? Honesty and brevity is the way to go. During a particularly contentious hearing, the ranking member asked the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, about the prospects for ongoing conflict within a particular region. After a thoughtful silo moment, DNI Clapper said, "Not great, Madam Chairman, not great." These templates often include tactics such as the rule of three, where you specify 3 good reasons for any action, so you can structure your speech in a way your audience can follow. Especially companies such as Apple, Steve Jobs would make powerful and concise use of metaphors, the use of vivid imagery, and to explain complex technical concepts, he might use a 1-page scale on a piece of paper. You can also use other rhetoric in public speaking, such as the use of figurative language, to make the words of the speaker more beautiful, but be careful not to fall into the bullet writing trap. For example, if you compare a computer to marble, emphasizing how most laptops and iPads are manufactured, then you remind your listener that other laptops are not built in the same way as an Apple device. When we think of politicians, we often think of them as being incredible speakers. It's not because they have some special power or magic ability. It's because they practice making powerful speeches again and again until they become good at it. It wasn't instinctive or charismatic ability, it was practice and study. When they're having debates with other politicians, they're using phrases that they've practiced again and again, and they're ignoring the ones they haven't. As an individual, you can learn the same skills of being clear and concise as politicians do. As an adult, use the simple public speaking structures, such as those used by politicians, and apply them to sales presentations, funding projects, board meetings, shared responsibilities with colleagues, and other similar situations. Storytelling is not about storytelling in the traditional sense. A story does not need to have characters, but it must have a situation in which those characters are embedded. Each word you say to your audience tells its own story. A story requires a beginning, a middle, and an end. Proper storytelling techniques ensure that your audience is attentive to the message you want to convey. A good story is the perfect basis for you to instigate the dialogue, challenge beliefs, and effectively lead your audience's train of thought to the goal you seek. Storytelling invites the audience to listen, feel, identify with the reality being presented, analyze the information, and make decisions. Every presentation you create should contain a story. Every point you want to make should have its story. Every way you present an idea in a logical sequence should be grounded in stories. Since the beginning of time, as Homo sapiens started to organize itself into complex societies, language has been around. It enabled integration around a common cause and started to position leaders as inspiring and communicative figures. As humans, we depend on the power of language to thrive, relate, and share knowledge with others. We are created by language, and its power will shake all the layers of society. Storytelling is the most direct and effective way to impact your audience. Our attention is guaranteed when we listen to a story. However, when storytelling is done incorrectly, your audience will hit the snooze button, both at the physical and the logical levels. Presentation is the art of using your public speaking skills to engage your audience. If your presentation is supposed to last 10 minutes or 120 minutes, you have the exact same time to speak, and your audience has the same opportunity to vote with their feet. As a presenter, your mission is to awaken the senses and transform the physical presence of your audience. This mission is not accomplished by using professional jargon or complicated terminology, but through a number of techniques which enable you to affect your audience at both the logical and emotional levels. In this section, we will learn how to use an effective technique to engage your audience. Storytelling. The power of storytelling lies in its ability to deeply connect with the audience. When done correctly, a story can captivate and engage listeners, making them more receptive to the message being conveyed. A well-crafted story follows a clear structure with a beginning, middle, and end, allowing the audience to easily follow along and understand the intended message. It serves as a powerful tool to stimulate dialogue, challenge perspectives, and guide the audience's thought process towards the desired goal. Every presentation should incorporate storytelling. Whether it's a sales pitch, a funding proposal, a board meeting, or any other similar situation, a story can serve as the foundation for effectively delivering your message. Each point you want to make can be supported by its own story, providing a relatable context for your audience to grasp and connect with. Language has played a vital role in human society since the beginning of time. As humans organized themselves into complex societies, language emerged as a means of integration and communication. It empowered leaders to inspire and connect with others. We as individuals rely on the power of language to thrive, establish relationships, and share knowledge. Language shapes every layer of society, and storytelling stands as the most direct and influential means of impacting an audience. The art of presentation entails employing your public speaking skills to captivate and involve your audience. Whether your presentation is only a few minutes or several hours long, you have the same opportunity to convey your message, while your audience has the ability to disengage at any point. As a presenter, your mission is to awaken the senses and transform the physical presence of your audience. This objective cannot be achieved through the use of professional jargon or complex terminology, but rather through a range of techniques that allow you to connect with your audience on both logical and emotional levels. In this section, we will explore one such technique: storytelling. Chapter 4. Enhancing Nonverbal Communication. The word impact does not just mean striking something with force. It also means to influence or move someone. Impact is influence. Who has had the greatest impact on you? Perhaps a teacher, a coach, a boss, a colleague, a friend, a spouse, a child. What do all of these people have in common? They know how to speak and use their language to lead. Therefore, enhancing those communication skills is paramount. Assess your own communication abilities to see which require developing and which require refinement. How comfortable are you speaking in front of others? How formally do you write? How effectively do you listen? How skillful are you at nonverbal communication? Once these assessments are made, focus on strengthening and maximizing potential skills. Then seek opportunities to utilize these skills as much as possible. If these skill sets seem to come naturally, remember to patiently allow others to build their confidence by way of your gentle, constructive guidance and steady positive reinforcement. There is no act that is completely devoid of communication. It is not just the overt, easily detectable speech that communicates. Even the absence of speech communicates. All behaviors communicate, like it or not, want it or not. Nonverbal communication literally refers to the transference of a message from the mind of one person to the mind of another person by means of cues that are not digital in the way language is. Researchers have talked a lot about this area of human interaction. Humans are sensitive to nonverbal communication beyond the conscious level. Social skills depend heavily upon sensitivity to and skillful use of the nonverbal. A key aspect of a person's persuasive power is the congruence between word and physical expressions, which reinforces a message whose effectiveness will be greatly enhanced when the message is also accompanied by gestural and mimetic synchronization between speaker and listeners, and any presentational resonances to that of the body language of the speaker. If we all demonstrate, first of all, that we are well disposed towards a person, feelings of mutual cooperation between individuals can increase, while if this aspect is completely lacking, the approach itself is compromised. Regardless of the specific gestures or expressions concerned, the body is such a flexible instrument, and it brings information suitable for different communicative aspects, according to multiple interactive possibilities, which we must be ready to manage and exploit to our advantage. At a distance, some words are revealed by our tone of voice, such as the prosodic aspect, in order to identify the different emotional conditions between subjects, useful for understanding the communicative intent from any point in space. Therefore, also in a possible visually blurred scene, showing a specific characteristic for suprasegmental units. The spoken word is extremely powerful, but when our gestures are correctly and coherently associated with our words, the brain's comprehension and retention capabilities, such as semantic memory and the emotions we feel during the conversation, are activated more quickly and effectively. The study of recent discoveries in neuroscience has allowed us to affirm that man's communicational abilities derive, from a linguistic point of view, from his physical posture and from the gestures that he makes using his limbs, given that language is defined by syntactic and recognizable movements. The most important elements for a successful communication are not so much logical and predictable, but rather derived from the body language, movement, facial expressions, communication tone, mirroring, synchrony, and the small details that communicate and tell the interlocutors how, beyond what he thinks, he actually feels and what his intention is. Even the audience members themselves don't appreciate the depth and richness of nonverbal language, as it's often related to as body language, without great appreciation for the multifaceted nature of our nonverbal lingo. With a deeper understanding of nonverbal language, we can harness a set of tools to aid in the development of robust and meaningful verbal communication. This understanding allows those like Eric Whitaker, who have spent their careers gaining control over visual and oral language, to create powerful multisensory communication that leverages nonverbal language as a key determinant of impact. This relationship is well understood by individuals who intimately use physical language like ballet dancers, magicians, and mimes to convey complex and complete ideas. Although most of us don't possess the same level of skill and control over our nonverbal language, we can still capture some of the magic with which these artists weave their nonverbal spells. It is estimated that over 75% of spoken language is nonverbal. Facial expressions and gestures carry much of the emotional content of the message and help fuel our emotional connection. As author Art Spiegelman said, "Comics, so it seems to me, are unique for fairly accurately reflecting how the world feels and appears to human beings deep down inside, who, you could argue, don't view the world as a mere reflected image." This combination of visual language and verbal language is a complex way to communicate, but it seems to mirror the complexity of very human feeling. Unleashing language with impact is about recognizing the interdependence between our verbal language and these spoken language cues. These subtle signals are important determinants of the audience's perception about the actual meaning of our spoken language. Let us now explore the depth and richness of nonverbal language and harness its power to elevate our conversations, connections, and understanding while creating profound impacts that resonate deeply within ourselves and others. Chapter 5. Building Rapport and Connection. The essence of the good listener is authentic interest in the person who speaks. Listen closely and with great attentiveness, so that when you speak, your words will carry the weight of authority, credibility, and originality. Clearly, there is no greater devaluation for a human being than engaging in conversation with someone who fails to truly listen. In the business realm, this lack of attentive listening becomes even more detrimental, as it leads to a disconnection between the speaker and the listener unless the speech holds factual importance. It is crucial to always remember that language, a powerful tool, is formed through the combination of words, gestures, and sounds, and this linguistic creation takes place within the core of our very humanity. The greatest gift one can bestow upon another is undivided attention. When you sincerely give your full attention to others, they can feel it in their very souls, sensing your genuine care for them at a subconscious level. Taking the time to understand their values, what motivates them, their aspirations, what sets them apart and makes them unique, how they perceive the world, how others perceive them, their goals, the changes they wish to make, and their contributions to their organization. All of these efforts signal your attentiveness and genuine concern. The result is the formation of an emotional bridge that deeply connects you with those you interact with. If you desire to enhance your listening skills, the first step is to establish boundaries with technology. This entails putting your phone away, closing your computer or any other electronic devices, and devoting your complete attention to the person speaking to you. Listening to others is the most direct and sincere reflection of your care, respect, and appreciation for the individual you are engaging with. By showcasing your knowledge, curiosity, and loyalty, listening becomes paramount. Elite speakers comprehend this fundamental skill and actively put it into practice, thereby attaining a deeper understanding and ability to empathize with their listeners. Through understanding your audience and adopting various perspectives, you can effectively engage the crowd and establish a genuine connection. This is the exclusive capability possessed by high-performance speakers, their secret weapon. Former FBI negotiator Chris Voss has witnessed this phenomenon in countless cases. No great orator has ever emerged without first mastering the art of attentive listening. Listening is an art form that opens the doors to the heart of another individual, making communication truly possible. Pay close attention to every word uttered by the other person, allowing them to speak uninterrupted. When your conversation partner feels genuinely listened to, they are likely to communicate more openly and effortlessly. Demonstrating that you are actively hearing them can be achieved through the use of words or actions that convey understanding, such as "I understand," "I see," "I hear," "ah," or even a simple nod. Technological advancements have provided more opportunities for communication, yet they have also intensified individualism and self-absorption to an unprecedented level. In our technologically driven society, deep listening has unfortunately ceased to be a routine practice. Nevertheless, our innate need to be understood and appreciated by those around us has never been stronger. Listening is the most underestimated form of denying someone's character. When a person is repeatedly interrupted without voicing their complaints, they silently think, "I am not being listened to. I am not being heard." Consequently, they eventually stop speaking altogether. Focusing on actions rather than the individual is a key characteristic of feedback, often considered constructive. By distinguishing between the issue at hand and the behavior itself, you can avoid harming the relationship, as the individuals involved understand that their actions are being corrected and understood on a practical level without it reflecting on their core essence. When addressing someone's actions, whether offensive or amateurish, it is essential to differentiate between their work, labeling it as either good or subpar, and their permanent state of being. Unfortunately, individuals may perceive your critique of their actions as an indication of long-standing assumptions you hold about their interactions with others. In defense, they might subconsciously react with disdain toward your consideration of the you they suspect lies behind the aptly labeled A, B, and C actions from their past experiences, rather than solely focusing on the A, B, and C of present and future actions. Authenticity plays a pivotal role in building trust. While most emotional intelligence competencies aid in establishing trust with individuals encountered for the first time, Authenticity can also foster trust with those whom we have an established relationship with, especially when delivering difficult messages. When you find yourself in a position where you must communicate a challenging message, remember the 3 C's. Communicate clearly, rely on facts, and, if providing verbal correction or critical feedback, focus solely on the behavior or the issue itself, rather than targeting the individual. Chapter 6. Overcoming Barriers to Effective Communication. Fred said, with considerable reservation born of experience, that over the course of his extensive years as a teacher and executive consultant, he had yet to encounter anyone who was able to fully conquer the specific anxiety he was referring to. The fear of sounding foolish seemed to compound with the added pressure and intensity of the situation, further fueling the desire to deliver a flawless performance and inadvertently leading individuals down the path of failure. The need to exude expertise was particularly significant for leaders and top salespeople, as their success often hinged on appearing knowledgeable and proficient. As the pressure to establish competence mounted, many turned to relying on a fixed script, whether it be a meticulously crafted speech or a meticulously written column in a respected publication. In doing so, they placed little faith in their own oral abilities, assuming others possessed better communication skills due to factors such as physical attractiveness. This ultimately resulted in a breakdown in effective communication and created a disconnect in how they were able to connect with and influence others, both in public settings and in private moments that remained concealed from the public eye. One of the greatest obstacles to effective speaking and listening, Fred argued, was nervousness. It acted as the bugaboo that afflicted newcomers to the art of communication. Despite spending a significant amount of time preparing for an important speaking engagement, diligently showering and meticulously dressing, individuals often found themselves defeated by the overwhelming presence of perspiration, tension, and fear once they stepped onto the stage. Nervousness, he contended, was the primary barrier to good communication, and it could only be conquered through a flawless performance. Fred then offered some practical advice for individuals seeking to enhance their communication skills and understand the diverse communication styles of their classmates. He emphasized the importance of recognizing and utilizing these various traits to identify different communication styles. Furthermore, he stressed that understanding one's own communication style was just as crucial as recognizing those of others. Armed with this knowledge, individuals could select the most effective strategies for teaching students, engaging with others, and fostering a more productive and efficient group dynamic. Regardless of one's dominant communication style, everyone had the capacity to develop assertive communication skills and effectively express themselves. Drawing from Terry Quall Gamble's insights in her book, Communication Works, Fred provided an overview of the 4 main communication styles: passive, aggressive, passive-aggressive, and assertive. By delving into the origins and characteristics of each style, individuals could gain a deeper understanding of the underlying dynamics in their communication interactions with peers. This understanding, in turn, could aid in fostering better relationships and contributing meaningfully to lively academic exchanges. To further support this growth, Fred shared a set of summaries that individuals could utilize to evaluate and improve their own behavior in classroom discussions. The first key area for improvement was the ability to address situations directly and non-judgmentally. Fred emphasized the importance of clearly naming specific behaviors when dealing with a difficult conversation. By refraining from attaching a value judgment to these behaviors, it became easier for the other party to internalize and process the need for change. Avoiding generalizations and discussing overall behavioral patterns was also crucial during these conversations. Expressing personal feelings associated with the behavior could be effective, but it was essential to acknowledge the limits of one's influence on others' understanding and behavior. Fred cautioned against making sweeping statements like, "You always judge those who want to grow our team," as it only put the other party on the defensive and hindered progress. Instead, He advocated for a more concrete and non-judgmental approach, such as saying, "During the meeting, I observed that you were less open to other ideas, especially Tom's. I found this interesting." This approach invited reflection without fostering a confrontational environment. Fred underscored the importance of recognizing that while one could not control other people's behavior, they could control their own reactions to it. By developing a deeper understanding of both people and situations, individuals gained the ability to express their thoughts and emotions in a controlled and constructive manner. To navigate difficult conversations effectively, Fred suggested following a comprehensive strategy centered around four key areas: address, context, adapt, and safeguard. Initiating the conversation by directly addressing the behavior or activity that necessitated discussion was paramount. Expanding the conversation to provide a broader context helped the individual better understand the reasoning behind the need for change before delving into emotions and reactions. Leading by example and modeling the desired change in behavior was essential, all while safeguarding one's own emotions to prevent further conflict. Chapter 7. The Power of Persuasion. To persuade someone is to give them permission to realize they are making a significant contribution, that they are adding immense value beyond measure, that they are making a profound difference that will be remembered for generations to come, that they are fearlessly leading the way towards a brighter future. Remember that just as the water gracefully erodes the banks of the mighty river, the true strength lies in the tree that bends in the face of the relentless storm. The first and foremost principle of persuasion is that you must retain and embrace your humility, for it is through humility that true influence is born. I often find myself sitting in the prestigious boardrooms of corporate giants, and my sons jokingly remark, "Dad, you express yourself with your hands, and you speak with such fervor." And I reply sincerely, "Listen, my beloved sons, God has blessed me with this gift, not for my own self-indulgence, but rather so that you can listen to the unspoken voices of countless souls yearning to be heard." However, in all seriousness, I explain to them, it is not I alone who speaks, nor is it just Unilever speaking. It is the spirit of independent contribution, a collective voice that echoes and advocates for the 99.9% of individuals who do not possess the privilege of a voice in the boardroom, who lack the authority to propose motions or to counter opposing forces. Persuasion is not about overpowering someone with forceful arguments or overwhelming evidence. Persuasion is not about proving oneself superior or impressing others with one's intellect. Persuasion is not about creating divisions between right and wrong. Instead, persuasion is a subtle and gentle art rooted in the true understanding of giving permission. It entails inspiring and motivating others from within, making them want to embrace change willingly. You must always remember that the word persuasion stems from the Latin root words per, for or in favor of, and suadere, to make someone want to do something. Before you can effectively persuade others, you must first persuade yourself. You must convince yourself that God desires nothing but the absolute best for you. You must internalize the fact that the vast majority, 99.9%, of people on this planet are eagerly waiting for you to guide them, to inspire them, to become a beacon of light in their lives. You must persuade yourself that you possess a unique gift and a profound responsibility to make a contribution that only you are capable of making, a contribution that is not only needed but deeply desired. You must recognize that you have a calling and a duty to fulfill that contribution. Another crucial process through which we frequently exert our influence upon others is commonly referred to as persuasion. Persuasion is the art of transforming a person's circumstances by unveiling one's thoughts, desires, and emotions in a manner that leaves an indelible mark. Countless volumes of literature delve into this fascinating subject, shedding light on specific strategies and arguments such as how to captivate and fascinate, how to forge lasting friendships and sway people's opinions, how to effortlessly solidify your victories, how to ignite the flames of motivation within others, and a recently popular topic, How to Instill the Essential Qualities of an Adult in the Next Generation. These resources provide a wealth of tools that emphasize the significance of emotions, both conscious and subconscious experiences, and the power of words spoken by an external agent, someone akin to you, unto an individual as an insider, someone like myself. These tools possess the extraordinary ability to shape and transform the external environment, allowing the influencer to effect profound changes within the target of their persuasion. What can we do to help others see that which they are currently unable to perceive, but we possess the clarity to recognize? Numerous options arise when engaging in conversations surrounding this matter. The first option is to share our unique perspectives, insights, and perceptual information that enabled us to arrive at a certain conclusion. By disclosing this valuable information, we enable others to reach the same realization that has impacted us so deeply. For instance, a compassionate doctor may employ their vast vocabulary to communicate perceived or recorded symptoms, diagnostic findings, and other relevant data that culminate in a definitive diagnosis. Similarly, an advertisement may present compelling statistics to persuade us of the existence of a pressing problem, accompanied by solid evidence showcasing the effectiveness of their proposed solution. Essentially, one could say that when we possess knowledge that others lack, we have the power to share that knowledge and enlighten those around us. However, it is important to acknowledge that as human beings, our ability to understand and make sense of raw data or statistical information unaided is not our greatest forte. This point is highlighted in the groundbreaking work of Daniel Kahneman, a distinguished psychologist and recipient of the Nobel Prize, whose research illuminates the perilous gap between decision-making processes conducted by System 1, our intuitive and impulsive decision-maker, and System 2, our logical and analytical decision-maker. Therefore, there may be occasions when it becomes imperative for us to trust in the expertise and integrity of others, allowing them to guide our interpretation of complex information. Many argument and debate classes in Thailand equip students with essential oratory tools that are commonly found in popular works of literature. Persuasion in speech unfolds as one skillfully relies on insights that resonate logically with the audience. However, excessively relying on emotional appeals rooted solely in oratory tools may inadvertently cloud the clarity with which audiences can connect their deeply held beliefs to sound logical reasoning. Moreover, emotional appeals predominantly based on the art of oratory have the potential to impede the soundness of decision-making processes. Ethical considerations should always play a crucial role in any form of argumentation, demanding that speakers possess the capability to identify their moral responsibilities towards their audiences. When formulating persuasive appeals, it is vital to prioritize fairness, respect for credible use of evidence, ethical alternatives, and adherence to intercultural communication norms. Ethical considerations lie at the very heart of persuasive practices. When engaging in effective communication, ethical considerations necessitate that students possess the ability to discern the moral implications of their words and actions. It requires them to respect the rights of others and craft persuasive appeals that honor the autonomy and agency of their audiences. By grappling with ethical issues within the realm of communication, students are provided with an invaluable opportunity to develop a profound understanding of how persuasive efforts can be ethically grounded, prioritizing fairness, respect for credible evidence, and a genuine willingness to appreciate and understand alternative perspectives. Chapter 8. Communicating with Confidence. Before hosts become legendary figures, they often struggle with a lack of confidence when it comes to public speaking. They may find themselves avoiding eye contact, retreating into the background of conversations, or compensating by engaging in excessive, self-promoting banter. However, in order to transform into inspiring communicators, emerging leaders must navigate and survive numerous speaking mishaps. With each speech they deliver, they learn to better manage the anxieties of their audience. They become adept at recognizing mistakes in their performances and work tirelessly to eliminate them. Through their experiences, they evolve until moments in the public spotlight become opportunities to connect deeply and emotionally with others. Ultimately, these individuals fully embrace their roles as agents of influence, effectively presenting innovative business ideas to the world. Most successful business leaders naturally radiate confidence, both within and outside the confines of the boardroom. Their determined body language and passionate tones of voice engage and unite people, rallying them towards shared, clearly defined goals. These individuals captivate their audiences, skillfully conveying messages through powerful stories and compelling ideas. Their presence stands out, attracting devoted followers who are eager to be a part of their grand vision. To alleviate fears associated with public speaking, it is crucial to prepare. This is not to suggest that one should prepare to the point of overconfidence and rely solely on improvisation. Rather, by investing time in organizing, writing, and revising remarks, as well as practicing extensively to gain familiarity with the content, one increases the likelihood of feeling solidly prepared. However, it is important to acknowledge that self-perception may not align with the audience's perspective on the performance. One's post-presentation focus should be on the message delivered rather than personal evaluations of success or failure. Speaking coach Gennard emphasizes that fixating on personal evaluations is a wasteful use of time. Often, people inadvertently collaborate with their internal critic during presentations. Anxiety consumes energy and tends to amplify neural activity in counterproductive ways. Overcoming public speaking anxiety, commonly known as stage fright, is the primary hurdle to delivering effective speeches. As presentations coach Gary Gennard states, given that approximately 75% of people in the United States experience nervousness when public speaking, you are certainly not alone. In fact, public speaking has been identified as the greatest fear in the world, according to psychology. This may be attributed to the global presence of oratorical traditions based on ridicule and scorn. It's essential to recognize that the vast majority of presenters offer information rather than delivering compelling messages. However, the audience is primarily interested in one thing: their own needs. To create a compelling message, one must demonstrate a deep understanding of the audience's concerns, desires, and questions. Preparing for challenging Q&A sessions, which successfully encourage the audience to reflect on how they can personally benefit from the message, is crucial. Additionally, fostering engaging and thought-provoking discussions is important. To accomplish this, incorporating as many instances of you into the conversation as is comfortable is advised. Rather than using the impersonal one, strive to establish a personal connection with the audience. Remember that successful communication involves translating messages from one's internal language to the consciousness of others. To achieve this successfully, it is vital to understand that an effective message always centers around the receiver, not oneself. True success lies in knowing that someone's life has been positively influenced as a result of the messages conveyed. Real change occurs only when individuals consciously choose to adopt new approaches. Therefore, aim to establish a strong human connection with your audience, blending informative content, which appeals to the intellect, with passion, conviction, character, and confidence, which appeal to the emotions, will undoubtedly lead to communication success. Once a compelling message has been prepared, the time comes to deliver the presentation. Begin by asking two crucial questions: what is my goal? And what does my audience want? Understanding the objective and the needs of the audience is paramount in delivering a powerful presentation. Abraham Lincoln famously stated that if he had 6 hours to chop down a tree, he would spend the first 4 sharpening his axe. Similarly, one should invest significant time in answering these questions and crafting an outline that specifically caters to the purpose and interests of the audience. For most presentations, the objective should be to know the audience so intimately that persuasion on the subject matter becomes effortless. Only then can one guide them from decision to action to tangible results. Conclusion: in your thorough and meticulous preparation, as well as your eloquent delivery, always keep these 9 crucial words at the forefront of your mind: clarity, brevity, context, engagement, authority, influence, and body language. These 9 words compose what we call the BCAGE approach, an acronym that has proven to be incredibly valuable. The significance of clarity lies in understanding what your audience needs to hear in order to grasp your point. Avoid delving into the entire history. Instead, focus solely on the relevant part. Brevity is imperative because oral communication differs from written communication. Speak in headlines and bullet points to convey your messages effectively. Ultimately, effective communication boils down to achieving clarity while incorporating brevity, all within the appropriate context of our lives, both personal and professional. Ensure that each word you utter has content and meaning. Engage your audience by fostering connections through curiosity, stories, and interactive dialogue. As you conclude, position yourself as a knowledgeable and engaging speaker, utilizing body language that exudes confidence and authority. Through consistent and dedicated efforts, you will subtly and seamlessly influence others. The BTAG approach is a tried and true method that has benefited our clients, and now we extend our wishes that it will serve you well. As you read this, envision a future enriched by continual growth and learning, where your impact is resolute and profound. We have repeatedly emphasized that confidence can be developed through practice, and this holds particularly true when it comes to speaking with impact. Mastering the art of speaking empowers you to enter a room filled with influential and accomplished individuals, feeling entirely at ease and natural in your presence. Your ability to captivate others with your intelligence and effectively articulate your thoughts, transitioning effortlessly from casual conversations to powerful and engaging discourse, will enhance your confidence and add an air of grace and strength to every step you take. In this new century, spoken words have taken center stage, surpassing the conventional writing tradition upheld by newspapers and publishing houses. Television, film, and spoken word have emerged as dominant forms of communication, fundamentally reshaping the media landscape. The profound impact of the spoken language is embodied in 2 significant world events: September 11th and the World Summit on Sustainable Development, WSSD, that transpired in 2001 and 2002, respectively. These events and their global dissemination through various media outlets now hold profound significance. This chapter extensively analyzes the global and local influence of spoken language, drawing from comprehensive research conducted across several sectors, particularly focusing on Secca Cumland. The chapter commences by exploring ancient wisdom, which emphasizes the transformative power of spoken language. It then delves into the modern era, exemplifying how the potency of voice as a fundamental source of language withstands any challenge, especially during times of global significance. Delving deeper into the exploration of language's influence, one cannot disregard the power of words, a subject that has captivated the minds of scholars and thinkers for centuries. The ancient Romans proclaimed vox ad virtugum, recognizing the ability of the voice to nurture growth and incite profound change. Centuries later, in his final play, The Tempest, William Shakespeare's character Prospero reflects on the transient nature of human existence and suggests that his power does not lie in sorcery, but rather in the language he has mastered, the language that gave life to his creation, the intricate world, and its inhabitants. Throughout history, numerous writers have expressed similar sentiments in diverse forms and expressions. Robert Bly, for instance, eloquently articulates the captivating force of language in its most intimate manifestation, illustrating its ability to transport us into a realm where we meander in every direction, encountering different aspects of ourselves. In these intoxicating moments, language beckons us to remain, to linger a bit longer, disrupting the boundaries of logic, inviting us to revel within its ethereal realm. The objective of this section of the book is to facilitate a harmonious integration of the methods and tools previously discussed. Thus, I encourage you to revisit the graphical introduction of the book, allowing yourself to gain perspective on the journey you have already embarked upon. As you assess your achievements and identify areas for improvement, you will acquire a profound awareness that enables you to take the necessary steps towards personal growth. The cognitive ladder diagrams serve as illustrative representations of the progress achieved thus far, offering invaluable insights into the dynamics of various communication levels. This understanding will empower you to transition from empathetic listening to assertiveness and continue ascending towards the pinnacle of effective oratory. It is paramount to remember that our messages play a significant role in our effectiveness as speakers. Along this transformative journey, it is crucial to adhere to a structured thought process that seamlessly manifests into a carefully crafted message. Each distinct part of this book has propelled us further, unearthing an array of tools that empower us to harness the true power of language in our personal lives. I hope you wholeheartedly embrace these tools, seamlessly integrating them into your daily existence, as I have done. Their influence extends well beyond enhancing your oral presentations. They enrich your social relationships and foster a deeper understanding of your surroundings. These methods construct a bridge connecting who we are to who we aspire to be, a conduit through which we navigate the questions that haunt us, a medium through which we transform, flourish, and become the best versions of ourselves. To embark on a deeper exploration of effective communication, we must adopt a proactive and dynamic approach, shifting from passive reading to active engagement. Our interactions should involve internalizing the content, allowing it to become ingrained within us rather than merely memorizing it. As diligently as we have pursued this path, the time for execution has come, representing the final leap. The desired outcome lies within our hands, waiting for us to grasp it. If you found this content enriching and valuable, we would be deeply grateful if you could express your appreciation through liking and subscribing. Your support is incredibly meaningful and enables us to continue creating content that resonates with you. For those who think this is a great gift for yourself or for your loved ones, you can find the link in the description.